Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always, and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. Last episode, we had a little bit of an accident. So we went into a dimension and was exploring around, and well, we ran out of power. Just for the record, the area here is chunk loaded, so that is not why we lost power, but it just kind of ran out. We don't have enough power generation to kind of, well, let this guy continue surviving. He's not as bad as that one, but he's still pretty bad. So what we need to do today, theoretically our stuff is still over there. Theoretically it's still on a gravestone, or if it's not, it should still be there. The dimension, when it collapses, kills everybody in it, but it doesn't, like, go away. I don't know that it destroys entities. I hope not. So we're going to try to do a rescue mission, but in order to do that, we're going to need a lot more power. So that's what we get to work on today. And I have been trying to decide what kind of power I want to go with to see just kind of what's going to be the most powerful. I considered solar panels. Solar panels are really annoying to make though, so I don't really want to do that. I considered the gas burning generator from Mechanism as well, which is usually pretty good. We might look into that if what I have planned today doesn't work, but what I have planned today is a lot easier to do, so it should be fun. But before we do that, let's get some ME conduit. And we're going to pop down. By the way, I'm wearing some random armor. I have the sneaking on air. I did find both my jetpacks. So I have both the Simply jetpacks and a Mechanism jetpack. So we have options if need be. But what I want to do is just come over here, sneak on air. We have another set of VCO armor, except for one important part, and that is, of course, the leggings. So, if we wanted to, we could make another set of armor, but I don't really want to. Let's get another piece of smart cabling. Smart cabling. And I also am going to need a storage bus. So we're gonna have to make one of those. But I want to hook up the essence farm, all the essence that we're getting to our system. So we're gonna need just a normal ME cable, just a normal one, and we're just going to need a storage bus. If you haven't figured out, we're gonna make a big reactor. We're going to make a small big reactor, but we're going to make a big reactor. And that is hopefully going to be enough power. So ME storage bus is an interface to two pistons. So we can tell the system to make an interface. That's easy enough. And pistons, we have one of each. So as soon as this is done, shouldn't take that long. It just got to craft the logic processors. We'll have everything we need. So, yeah, the idea with this is going to be, let's get a big reactor and see if that is going to help. So we'll break that, put that there, just so we can see how many channels we have. One channel. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. I really need to be careful around our base because our base is kind of dangerous. So that should light up in a second once it knows that it's there. Cool. And now we can see all of our essence into our system. And the neat thing about that is, well, we'll be able to see everything. We can make as much electrotine, redstone, and all that kind of stuff as we need, and whatnot. So that's the idea. Anyways, we want to grab our Master Infusion Stone, which is probably still sitting over here, and we need to make some Demon Steel. Where would I put it? It's probably in here. Yes. You know what? We don't need this chest anymore. But yeah, so we're going to need a little bit of demon steel for this for the reactor because of the controller. Everything else is pretty easy and vanilla, so it's kind of nice. So we just get some Tempero essence, get a stack there, and we'll get 2 stacks of it. And then we use this to make the demon steel and the diamond essence thing. The diamond, what is it called? Infuser? Metallurgic infuser. So that is this guy. And we just need to have 4 pieces of demon steel 3. And so while that is going, let's go ahead and get everything else we need. So, I don't think there's anything else that's too bad. Oh, wait. I remember seeing this. Uranium rod. We need uranium. And that's not going to be fun. Uranium. Oh, man. So, we need this stuff. So, we have the palladium ingots. But we need molten uranium, which comes from Ceres, or there is uranium ore. So that is the question. Can we get that stuff so that we can get these ingots? There is nether uranium ore as well. I don't know if I've seen any of that, so I forgot about that. I'd looked at this before and thought this is a great idea, and then I realize now that it might not be. So you know what? Let's grab our vibrant jetpack. Let's grab our dev null for stone, and let's go to the mining dimension. This might be a good way to get flight back. For the time being, just so that we can, you know, maybe find some uranium ore. I hope we can find some uranium ore. We'll see. So, jetpack goes silent. That happens. So I need to see the controls again. I don't remember the controls for the jetpack. It's been so long since we used it. Simply jetpacks. Let's see. Hover mode is subtract. Oh, but right. It conflicts with the zoom in, zoom out. So let's just turn that off. Oh, or is it this? It's that one. Okay. Numpad subtract, not keyboard subtract. Okay, so we should be able to look around and find some stuff in here. Right, the boots are interfering. I forgot about that part too. So the question is, can we find any uranium in here? That's thorium. We also don't have a magnet on us. So thorium is used for a couple of things as well. Thorium dust, which is used for thorium rods, which we'll need later for things anyways. So it's not a big deal to have it now. I don't see any. That's tungsten. I don't see any sort of uranium ore. That's coal. So, this could be bad. This could be very bad. We might not be able to do much with big reactors, if this is the case. Our other option is to go into the nether and see if there's any nether uranium ore. But I really don't want to do that. It is something we can do, but it's something I don't want to do. What are you? Zinc. Tungsten. It's a greenish color, which in the dark is really hard to see anyways, so not seeing any. This is not good. Okay, so let's look over here for a second. I don't think that's more thorium. Alright, let's break down a wall. And I realized that we actually can't take any of the cobblestone because we're getting cobblestone. Uh-oh. Well, that ran out of power. Alright, well, let's get out of here. We'll go back home. We'll charge things up. And that is zinc. Dang it. Alright, so this might take a little bit of time. But yeah, so if we can get the uranium, just a little bit of it, we don't even need that much, that will be enough for us to... That is uranium right there. Alright, so it does exist. Now, how much can we get out of this if we are lucky? We could do the whole enrichment thing. And then uses of that gives us a clump. So we could do the whole enrichment thing and get enough to get a couple of pieces. But we need to do a couple of things first. So let's just see if we find any more on our way out. Now that we know what it looks like. That is coal, I do believe. But yeah, so kind of what we need to do to get the uranium we need is, well, we just need to find it. But we need to go back home. We'll charge up our jetpack. And get a new dev null for cobblestone. I believe I have another item dislocator, so that part at least is going to be easy enough. And we'll go back and see if we can't get some more. We need 3 pieces for 1 fuel rod. I would love to have more. So what we can do is let's get some dark steel. Dark steel. Let's get 10. That'll take a moment. That's fine. So charge up our jetpack, jet plate. I guess it is just called a jetpack. The next tier is jet plate. But yeah, I forgot that the uranium fuel rods, we're gonna need a couple of those, and they require the uranium rods. Now everything else with uranium rod is easy enough, but yeah, we're definitely gonna want more stuff. Anyways, let's go check on our demon steel, and if we can, we'll go ahead and make more demon steel. You need a lot of this stuff. We're halfway there. We need more diamonds. That is easy enough, luckily. So there's just a lot of... God, that death was such a bad death. So what we can do is just come over here, and there should be the enrichment chamber. Not the combiner, enrichment chamber. We'll put the diamonds in there. They'll get enriched into the little plates, and we'll get a bunch of stuff. Let's go ahead and take this guy. They're also running low on power, so that's not good. I'm getting hungry. Oh my gosh, so many bad things happening. So we might actually run out of power. We're keeping up for the most part. Let's do a couple of things. Actually, no. Who cares? We'll deal with it. So dark steel, we have some dark steel. We can get the dark steel balls, and these guys will basically buff our sag mill. So hopefully we can get at least 3. Aw. Well, I tried. And then we can cook these up. And there's 2 uranium. Now, does it hurt if I have it in my inventory? No. Good. I was hoping that was going to be the case. So, to make more demon steel, we need to do just one of these things. And there's 3 of the 3rd magnitude. We'll go ahead and put them in here. And we should have more demon steel. I believe I have 1 of the 3rd. Okay, cool. So that's the 4 we're going to need for the reactor. We're going to need a lot of steel. We have steel essence and dark steel essence, so that's nice. So we can just make a good bit of steel like that. How much steel do we have? We have a good bit. And then we're going to need reactor casing. So we're going to need a handful of these. So we're going to need some graphite and yellorium bars. I taught the system how to make yellorium. We have the dust from sifting and all that kind of fun stuff. We just need the actual bars. So let's make like 8 of these, I guess. Let's do a full 16. We have a good bit of yellorium, so that's not a problem. And then we're going to need graphite, which is literally just coal cooked up in here. So we'll just do that. That should give us graphite bars. Perfect. Cool. So with that all taken care of, let's go ahead and sleep. Forgot where my bed was. So we just need to get back to... We need to get back to the mining dimension, find 1 more set of uranium, and we'll be good to go. So let's get another dev null. I don't believe I have one for cobblestone, so we'll just do that. And we should have another dislocator. We have 2. Wow, cool. Alright, so that'll make my life a lot easier exploring. And we just need to get a lot more power. This guy is draining all of his power into here, so that's why I disconnected things, just to make sure I wasn't going to be losing anything or anything like that. So let's pop down here for a second. I'd love to try to get more demon steel made, because that would be really nice. But these guys are basically out of power. So we do have quest books. We're going to need a full stack of yellorium ingots. Minimum size is a 3x3x3. Maximum size is huge. For the big reactors, by the way. We're going to make a medium sized one. We're going to make whatever we can. So let's tell the system to make like 300 yellorium. That's half of it. We'll come back for that stuff in a little bit. These guys are just not enough power for the mechanism machines to be running like they are. So there's a stack of graphite. That'll be a stack of reactor casings. So we have that. We can go ahead and make the controller. We're only going to need 1 of those, so that's great. We're going to need an access port. I like making 2 of these, so that's going to require a piston and a chest. I'm getting a little bit of lag. That's weird. So we can make another piston pretty easily. And then we're going to want 2 chests. So something like this. So we're going to take 2 of those. We need A power tap, that is easy enough. That's going to require some electrosilicon. So do we have any of that? We have 2. We need 2 more of those. And those are not that bad to make. It's just, well, that. And we come down here, cook that up, and get the other 2 electrosilicons. Now we only need 1 of these as well. The power taps are not too bad. They're pretty efficient, so that's easy enough. We're going to need a reactor controller, so we're going to need our yellorium. Let's go ahead and take the entire stack. We'll put that there. We're going to need redstone and graphite. And we can always make more reactor stuff later. That's kind of the nice thing. So there's the reactor control rod. I think we're only going to use 1 of those. If we want to use more, that's not a problem. But that should be everything in the quest except for... let's get the yellorium. Alright, cool. That's everything in the quest except for the yellorium fuel rod. So, I'm just going to go ahead and put this stuff down here for right now. We're going to use a lot of yellorium to fill things up. Put that stuff away. Put that away. And we just need to go find some more stuff. So we just need to find a little bit more. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever to charge up. You know what? We'll be fine. Actually, what kind of leggings do we have available to us? We have iron leggings. Zavicio leggings are a pain. We just want the normal ones. So titanium, diamond, the gravitite is really bad, as well as the reinforced exoskeletons. Those are really annoying. So yeah, we'd have to go pretty far. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So you know what? Let's take our long fall boots, and we'll go back to the mining dimension. We need to find just a little bit more stuff. 1 more piece of uranium will be enough for 1. And then I can always go find more, like between episodes or whatever, and expand the big reactor if need be. So let's put the long fall boots on. Put the item dislocator on. And this time, we're going to mine a little bit higher. So we found... Where did we find the uranium the first time? It was basically right down here. So that's not quite what I had in mind, but let's stand on something and we'll go this way. Now we're too hungry, but have we found anything yet? There is a light source here. That's really weird. Nothing yet. There's chance cubes. I don't really want to mess with those yet. Biggest reason is, well, they're terrifying. They can spawn withers on you, and I don't really want to deal with that right now. Do I see any? Uranium must be fairly rare. It was right there that we found it, so we're pretty much on the same level. Not that I don't think it matters too much, but we'll keep digging around. I will say I haven't found any mobs. We are on normal difficulty, so that's interesting. Yellorite ore is also pretty common. in the mining dimension, so that's also a nice way to get more fuel for the reactor once we're there. Alright, so let's jump on this salt so we don't fall off anywhere. And so long as we don't land in lava, we'll be fine. And even if we do, we'll be okay. So at some point we should find something, right? I don't have any. I have one torch. Alright, let's light things up just so I can see if there is anything around. We could go through the cave a little bit. Now, there is the possibility that we'll find like spawners and stuff in here. It is a slight possibility, but I mean, it is still a possibility. Let's eat. And I will tell you guys what. I will be right back after I find some more uranium. So, be right back. So, I messed up a little bit. I should not have used that uranium ore because it is incredibly rare. In fact, I should have kept it and used our digital miner. I forgot about this guy. Apologies, but yeah, there was 20 whole uranium ore in this area, and it checks this entire area, I believe. So we can move it around a little bit more and search for more later if we need it. But I was trying a couple different things. I had heard that maybe it was ore dictionary with like yellorium or something. It's not, as far as I can tell. So we were kind of stuck on just finding a little bit more. I had even tried to just so the digital miner has an option for mod ID, and I was even trying to use that, and there was like 13,000 blocks that it was going to search for, because limestone and salt and all sorts of things like that are also magnetic craft. So that didn't work either, but we can get back into this. So we just need to process this stuff. I'm going to keep one ore just in case I ever need it again. And then we could always go to the nether and look for ore there too. And the neat thing about the nether is we could just, you know, go to the top of the nether and never have to worry about things. So let's get a good bit of this stuff. We just need a little bit to make what we need. So yeah, we'll put that in there. We're gonna need some lead plates. So let's take a stack of lead. Why not? Let's also turn our magnet off and eat something. But let's go ahead and take a stack of lead, and we will push it through this guy. Do I not have plates for this? I guess not. How can I make plates easily? So we need lead plates. We can make them with the hammer, or we can metal press them. That is it. So I really don't want to use the hammer. Do I have the plate? Oh my gosh, I keep picking up that carrot. Plate. We do have a plate mold. Okay. Let's also grab a chest to put over there for storing plate molds and whatnot. Because eventually we'll probably want to get more. I don't actually know if we're going to want to get more of the metal presses. Honestly, once we get into EMC, that's going to be most of what I use, so there's that. But we'll let that guy run. Our power problems seem to have been solved. I have a funny feeling it was these machines. They like to use a lot, so I just kind of turned them off right now. And yeah, we're going to slowly get back up to acceptable levels of energy. But we can go ahead and make our first yellorium fuel rod after we make the uranium rod. So we're going to need like 1, 2, we'll just make 2 of those for now. And we'll get 2 of these guys. Well, hopefully, here soon. Alright, so there's 2 of those. Now, we should have the quest done. It is. Let's take the middle reward bag. And then we need to start getting cyanite and reactor coolant port. I don't want to do that yet. So, we have pretty much everything we need. What do we got in here? A good reward bag. We could get lucky and get the VCO armor. So, we didn't get lucky. Alright. Well then. Let's go ahead and we could go ahead and build a reactor. Now reactors, you typically want to fill them with something. We could use diamond blocks, for example. We could also use liquids. Jelly cryothium is actually really good, and resonant ender is also really, really good. So we have options. I don't know what I want to do. I really don't care about a complicated design at this point, just because we're not making a really big one. I want to make a 1, 2, 3, 5, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna make a 5 by 5. And you know what? Let's actually do a little bit more. So we're gonna want multiple of these. 2, 3. That'll be good. We'll do something like this. So we're going to need a lot more of this stuff, but this should be a halfway decent sized reactor to begin with. And this should produce just a ton of power. So we're going to want to have power tap, controller. The control rods we'll get to later. We're going to want to have access ports. And we'll get to those. And then everything else is just got to be casing. So we're going to need to make a good bit of casings. Again, nothing too bad to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is the amount of uranium we have. And we have a good bit. So if we want to make that, how big do we need to make this? We're going to need to get more control rods. That's not a problem. Other than it's going to require a lot more casings. But we're going to want 10, so we need 8 more. 8 more of the yellorium fuel rods, and that should give us a lot of power. We'll actually go ahead and fill it with some stuff too, so we can have that. So we need 8 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Oh, come on. 2 more. 2 more uranium. Now, is this stuff used for anything else? Uranium blocks. No. Nuclear bombs. Okay, good. No. Block of uranium. We'll see if this is used in anything. Doesn't look like it. The armor and swords and stuff. The uranium rods. We are going to need these. We're going to need a lot of those. But everything in here is EMCable. So as long as we keep 1 uranium, we'll be fine. Alright, and then yellorium fuel rods. And we can always get more. So there's 4. Let's get lead. Stack again. And we're going to need a lot of casings. That's not too much of an issue. So once we have, and then we're going to need 4 more of these reactor controls. So we're going to need 16 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be turned into those. And then we're just going to want, let's just get a half a stack. We're out of steel. That's fine. So let's go ahead and continue building the reactor. And this thing, the nice thing about the big reactors is they are completely and utterly safe. Like, they're not going to explode on you or anything like that, as far as I'm aware anyways. So we're going to want a fuel rod, control rod here in each corner, and then so on. So for right now, let's get, what do we want to fill it with? I guess resonant ender would be really good. So that's going to be just ender pearls. Let's get a stack of ender pearls and some sort of tank or drum. Can make a drum. That'll work. We're gonna need what, like 1, 2. It's 4, 8 buckets worth. So we'll just put this here. Configure this out the top, and we'll just dump all these ender pearls in here. Every 4 is a bucket, so that'll take just a moment to cook up, and yeah, we'll be good to go. So we're gonna want some item conduits, and a couple chests, or even better, we could just use drawers. And we're probably gonna want the ender energy conduits. And I'd love to have another capacitor bank, but those are expensive. So at least I think they are. Could we make a capacitor bank? I spelled it right. Yes. Dark steel. Ugh. We have to make all of them. So we're gonna need, we need for this 2 capacitor banks, which requires, that's 4 basic capacitors. So let's get some capacitors, some double layers, some octadics, and we're going to want dark steel. Let's make a bunch of that. We're going to want electrical steel. We're probably going to want more than that. Let's get like a stack. That'll take a moment, but won't be bad. And then we're also going to want, for the basic one, conductive iron and redstone blocks. So conductive iron. Let's get like 100 of that. And redstone blocks. Okay. So we might as well make as many of these as we can, because why not? Power storage is always a good thing. And it's not like they'll go to waste or anything. So 16. So we need a stack of conductive iron. We need a good bit of everything else. And we'll be good to go. So we should be able to make the rest of these guys. We are missing steel, of course. So coal. Let's take like a bunch of stacks of coal. We'll run it through here. And that'll be fine. That'll take a little bit of time, and then we can grab just a bunch of iron and run it through here. We might have some steel. Nope. Well, it was worth a shot. Let's take this stuff and put it back. Making all that magnalloy was really annoying. That's something I'm going to want to automate as soon as possible, in the sense of like never having to make it again. So for this, we're going to need the steel as well. There's a bit of coal dust. Cool. So we should have everything we need for the Enderium. That's something we can go ahead and take care of. 16 buckets, that seems right. Now we're going to need an actual bucket. So let's go grab one of those. Let's also eat. Unfortunately, with not having flight anymore, walking around takes a lot of hunger. So that's something I'm going to need to remember. I need to start eating more. So let's see what all we can get done. Put the Enderium block drum down. We can go ahead and fill the bottom layer. So we're going to want this here, this here, this here. And we're going to do each one like so. And we'll need reactor casings for the next tier. Alright, I can kind of fly. So that'll be fine. And we'll get the roof on in a little bit. This guy will be an outlet. We'll need to move this torch, F7. Nothing can spawn over here, so it shouldn't be a problem. But we'll do item conduit, and this will be insert, extract always active. This will be insert, extract always active. This is where we will have energy output. And then we just need to, you know, we can jump up there. Not a problem. So I guess let's just put this like here. And we just jump up here. Actually, we can go ahead and place this guy. So I don't know that we'll need any more casings, to be honest. I think we're good on casings. So it's just a matter of getting enough steel, which that's a good bit of steel. I'll make more between episodes. That will be good enough for now. So there's the last 4 of those that we need. We should be able to finish this completely. So, assuming we can, then we're going to start getting a lot of power, and everything's going to be great. Let's take that off. Replace it with the gear, because I do have gear patterns in here. We'll eventually make more metal presses. They're not that expensive, and they're definitely worthwhile. Alright, so Yellorium fuel rods. More resonant ender for each of these. And I could get into a whole thing about how, so basically what you fill these guys with determines how much power based on heat and whatnot. It's huge, complicated things that I don't really understand. I usually look up designs. One of the best ones I know is like it's a mixture of resonant ender and Yellorium, but I don't remember what makes it the most efficient, because basically the hotter it gets, the more fuel it uses, whereas if you if it's not as hot, then it doesn't use as much fuel, type of thing. So we can go ahead and dump in a bunch of fuel. We'll put this extract always active. That was already always active. So that should insert everything, and it will start to fill up. So this is full, and if we turn it on, this produces about 40,000 RF per tick. So that's not too bad. It's more than a lot of other things. What do these guys produce? That's 40 RF per tick, so it produces a lot of power fairly quickly. Is it enough to keep up with this guy? Well, no. This requires 300,000 RF per tick, but it's good enough. We get enough battery bank. We'll get like, I don't know, 5 minutes to get in, get out, and call it a day, get our stuff back. That's the important thing. And then we're not going to worry about, we're not going to deal with anything concerning RF tools for a little while. We still need to get dragon dimlets and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, I don't know. So do we have the conductive iron? Literally 2 more pieces. Come on. 1 more piece? Just 1 more piece. Thank you. So we'll have to look into, I think power is going to be one of the next things we're going to really focus on. I also think one of the next things we need to deal with is cobblestone generation. Then we're going to need electrical steel. Let's take a stack of that. Don't need that. This guy can be placed down. Alright, so let's get some power storage. And we might even go back to that dimension today. We'll see. So we're going to make 16 of these. And then to make the next tier, it is 1 and 2. Okay. So, I guess while we wait, let's go ahead and put some stuff away. What we're going to want... We're going to probably want our long fall boots. Yeah, I have a couple pairs of those, so I'm not concerned if we lose that. We could take a magnet as well. That wouldn't be terrible loss either. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, actually, I think we're going to have exactly enough dark steel for this. Because we're going to have 16 times, divided by 2, that's 8. We're going to have 4. 4 times 6 is, yeah, 24. So, we do that, and that. That'll make the capacitor bank, so that's not bad. And then we're just going to need to store up a lot of power. So, what is kind of the next plan of action? Well, we need to deal with, once we get our stuff back, I don't care after that, to be honest. We'll figure things out. There's plenty of stuff to work towards. One of the biggest things right now is getting more and more nether stars. And so working towards awakened draconium probably is the best idea. But other than that, 300, so it's 300,000. So we're going to have, what, 2 billion RF storage? So what we can do is, how bad is the fuel consumption? It's heavily irradiated. It's going to use a lot. So, 4. We can make just a long multi-block, and we can turn this back on. So it's using a millibucket per tick of our fuel. So it's going to be going through fuel fairly quickly. However, we're also going to be getting waste, which should be automatically ejecting. No. Okay, so maybe it's not that bad. But yeah, we're right at 40,000 RF per tick, which is not too bad. Actually, 1 millibucket per tick is not bad at all. We're not going to have much depletion. So if I get rid of that, you can see that the reactors, heat of the reactor casing, high heat raises energy output and coolant conversion. And so core heat is transferred to the casing. Transfer rate is based on design. So you want the core to be less. You want the core to be hot, but you don't want it. You want the casing to be hotter, I believe, because that will give you more power. So you want to transfer heat out and cool the core. So I think one of the best designs I've seen, one of the designs I typically use, puts jelly cryothium in the center and then enderium around the edge, and it does this like checkerboard pattern. But this is going to take a while to fill up with power. So I will tell you guys what. I am going to go ahead and end the episode off here. Next time, first thing we're going to do is going to try to get our stuff back. And then after that, we're going to take a look at the quest book and probably start looking at we need to make our first little bit of awakened draconium. We need this. We just need some charged draconium blocks. That's not actually the hard part. The hard part is the draconic cores and then all the dragon hearts. So we'll get there. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. And once we do, once we have nether stars being able to be mass produced, we can even get the dire crafting table, and then start looking at actually getting into fun stuff, like complex mod stuff. But yeah, so we're almost there. We just need a lot of nether stars. That's the hardest part about this recipe, other than the awakened cores, is going to need more nether stars and more nether stars and more glowing magnalloy, which is a pain. But yeah, I am going to spend some time between episodes while I'm waiting for that. Prior working with plants, I'll probably plant a bunch of these guys and get that set up in the last millennium and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!